Hello everybody, this is Payless Rob with the MaKaElectric Rebuttal Channel, and what an exciting day this is. MaKaElectric gets on TV, sort of. How y'all doing? Here's the latest from our hero, the man who tells it like it is, the man whose news is so important that shows like Inside Edition have to actually reach out to him, touch him, bring him in, and let us all know what he thinks. What a day this was. This morning, March the 15th, on the weekly hysterical report, MaKaElectric let us know the very first item that while he was sleeping on Friday morning, the people at Inside Edition, not Deborah Norville herself, but of course her people that work for her, reached out to him and left him a message trying to get him on the show to talk about his theories about the Malaysia flight that's been missing for over a week. Well, as he pointed out in his video, and if you go to YouTube/MaKaElectric and look for the Jericho Report for today, March 15th, you'll hear him mention how on Fridays, it's just a hard day for him. He's there working so hard for all of us to get the information out so that we can be safer. He has to sleep in because he knows all day and all night on Friday, he'll be at the internet, at his screens, absorbing information, working through the information for you and me so that we can be safer. And then on Friday nights, he puts together his hysterical report. So it's there on Saturday morning so that we wake up, we can see the information and be safer. But because this job is so hard for him, the employment he has is just so taxing, he has to sleep late on Friday morning and he missed the call. So they apparently used a clip from him talking about his theories about what happened to the flight. As a matter of fact, if you go to Inside Edition's website, they mention it. An article that was posted yesterday, March 14th. And down here it says, conspiracy theories are popping up all over YouTube, where one guy claims the plane may have been brought down by a secret weapon using sound waves. In his video, he says, I'm thinking an EMP pulse weapon. Is that too far out there? We know we've seen these large cruise ships over the past few years get stranded at sea, no power at all, just dead in the water. So they are quoting MaKaElectric on Inside Edition. Now, here's where this all comes to roost. Does MaKaElectric have any concept under which context they're placing what he has to say? They think he's a nut. And he is. As a matter of fact, what they did take time to do, Lisa Miller, who's a well-known reporter for New York Magazine, they had an interview with her. And this they posted. They didn't post MaKa's weird ideas about a big pulse going off. But here's what they had Lisa Miller say.
I think conspiracies are the inverse of the data culture we all live in. So the more you know things, the more you don't trust culture when you don't know things. So you start to make up all of these crazy, complicated reasons that something might happen.
The reason for MaKa's existence.
Knowing everything, that when we don't know something, we have to make up a big story. Alien abduction, global conspiracy,
EMP,
international conspiracy. It's our impulse because we're so unused to not knowing.
Okay, there you go. That's it in a nutshell. What she says is right. These days with the internet, we have so much information coming in, it's hard for us not to know stuff. If there's any question you have about life or things that go on in the world, you can treat Google as an 8-ball. Remember, you'd ask it a question, turn it over, and there would be the little thing popping up. Well, Google is sort of like that. You have a question about how something works, you Google it. Okay, so we have all this information coming in. But when we don't know something, when a jetliner just disappears for a week now, then we start to make things up. And MaKa is not alone, not even in this current time. This has been the case since man first walked the earth, probably. So MaKa is a victim of the same way our brains work as everybody else, except nowadays you get on YouTube and you say, it sounds like EMP to me, or alien, or some, not MaKa, but aliens are here. Well, MaKa with the rogue planets. All right. So I just want you to know that go on to Inside Edition and read some about this. It's very interesting. Meanwhile, here the morning of March 15th, here's some new information. If you have been watching, and how can you not, about the jetliner, you know that it looks like it made a turn and went out toward the Indian Ocean. And you've got to think about this. It looks like someone took over the cockpit. Whether it was the pilot or co-pilot or someone got through the cockpit, that doesn't matter. The fact is someone made that plane change direction and turned off the transponders, heading out to the Indian Ocean. For what reason? There's nothing out there. Was it a suicide mission? Why take the time to head a plane out to the ocean where now they're saying it may have flown for up to 7 hours? What's the point? To just drop off into the ocean and kill yourself? Or was there another reason? Is something out there in the ocean that they were after or headed toward? Here's the latest this morning from CNN.
I want to bring in our Pentagon correspondent, Barbara Starr, with some new information about where this plane may have gone. Barbara, tell us.
Hi, Bill. Well, people have been talking for the last day or so about the vast area of the Indian Ocean. CNN has learned there is a classified intelligence analysis conducted by the Malaysians, the U.S. National Transportation Safety Board, the FAA, and U.S. military analysts that may have narrowed this Indian Ocean down a fair bit. And I know you're going to follow along with me on this as we begin to look at a map. What we have learned is this classified analysis took all of the radar data that we've talked about, the satellite pings we've talked about, all of the information, and looked reasonably at what the path the plane might have taken would be. As you look at that map, the plane we know from radar made a turn back over the Malay Peninsula. What this classified analysis tells us is the data shows it might have turned one of two directions. First up, north into the Bay of Bengal off of India. That is a place now that both the Indian military and some U.S. military assets are looking. Again, based on the data and the calculations. The southern search box, it might have turned south and flown for some distance in a southeasterly direction. That is the calculation. We've heard about those Andaman Islands. We're hearing about it flying further south in a southeasterly direction. Now, this isn't perfect knowledge again. These are calculations based on the analysis, but done by very expert U.S. government analysts working with the Malaysians based on the satellite data.
Now, we all know MaKaElectric is just as smart as those people doing those calculations. Somewhere, somehow, MaKa got up during the night, got out his calculator, and figured out, EMP. This plane is somewhere. It's not disintegrated. And I swear to God, I promise you, when all is said and done, it won't be EMP. Till next time.